Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video, I am going to discuss some books that I would like to reread someday. Now, I enjoy rereading books that I like, though I wouldn't say I do it frequently just because there are so many new books out there in the world that I want to read. However, there are some books that I would really like to reread someday in the near future, and hopefully someday soon I will make those a priority. Anyways, I thought for today's video I would share some books that I would really like to reread with you. So first off, I'm just gonna say at some point I would like to reread every single Jane Austen novel. Jane Austen is my favorite author, and I never ever get tired of her books. I've already read Pride and Prejudice, my absolute favorite, 4 or 5 times, I'm not entirely sure, and I will keep rereading it. Who knows how many times I will have read Pride and Prejudice by the time I die. Could be like 20 times, I don't know. I've also read Sense and Sensibility twice, but every other book of hers I've only read once. So I would like to reread all of those sometime in the coming years, just to sort of solidify my opinions and my personal ranking of her novels. I think out of all of Jane Austen's books, the one that I would most like to reread is Emma. Currently, this is my second favorite Jane Austen novel. I absolutely adored this when I read it. I just think it is so charming and lovely. I would like to read this again, possibly for next Jane Austen July, just to enjoy reading it all over again and confirm to myself that it is my second favorite. Now, another classic book I would really like to reread, though I don't know when it will actually happen, is Jane Eyre. This is another one of my favorite books, though I've only read it once, so someday I would like to read it again. I think this book just has some really iconic quotes that I absolutely love. I feel like, okay, if I was a tattoo person, which I'm not, I might get a tattoo inspired by that "I am no bird and no net ensnares me" quote. Because I just love that, and I think it's like super empowering, and it could be really cool to get like a bird tattoo themed after that quote. I would never actually do that because I have no desire to ever get tattooed. If I was that kind of person, maybe I would do that, but I'm not. I think what I really love about this book, though, is Jane as a character. I really rooted for her, and I think she is an amazing character. Just the things that she overcomes in her life and her inner strength. And I also love how she is described as not being beautiful, because so many times when you read books, the main characters are all described as extremely good looking, but physical appearances don't determine your self-worth or how worthy of love you are, so I really just love having a heroine who is not physically stunning, but she has an amazing character and inner strength. There are also some books I read in high school that I would really like to reread because I know I liked them, but I just don't remember everything about them now. Those two books being The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini and The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Well, first of all, The Kite Runner I read freshman year of high school. So it's been almost 10 years since then, and I really enjoyed it, I remember that. But I also feel like adult me might get more out of it than 14-year-old me did. And I think maybe if I reread that book, it might become an all-time favorite. The Bell Jar I also read in high school for a small group project, and I remember I really enjoyed it, but I just don't really remember exactly why or everything that happened in the book, and so I feel like someday I'll have to reread it just so I can organize my thoughts and maybe review it on this channel. All I really remember about the book is I know that I enjoyed reading it, and it was sad and kind of emotional knowing that Sylvia Plath would end up taking her own life. So someday I think I will have to reread both of these books just so I can form more coherent reviews about them and decide if they are all-time favorite status. Speaking of all-time favorite status, I think it could be interesting to make a vlog someday where I reread books that I consider favorites to see if they still are my favorites. Also, some of these books I just really want to read again and experience them again. So if I do end up making that video, two books that are definitely going to be in it are going to be Circe by Madeline Miller and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I loved these books when I first read them, and I consider them among my all-time favorites, but I've only read each once. Oh no, just threw it on the floor. Ah! Circe, I know, is a bit polarizing. I know some people hated this book and other people really loved it. Personally, I really loved it. I thought the writing was beautiful and I just really empathized with the main character. I loved her story and I liked how I felt like the ending was somewhat hopeful, and I really appreciated that because I don't always love myth retellings where it's just the same sad ending from the original myth. My unpopular opinion is that I like this more than The Song of Achilles. The Song of Achilles was really good until Achilles started being a little bitch, and I kind of hated him by the end. I think he was really selfish, and he kept going on about my honor, and I was like, dude, it's not all about you. Ugh. Hashtag justice for Briseis. Anyways, but we're not reviewing The Song of Achilles here. I think I just liked this one so much better because I really liked Circe as main character. She was complex, I really felt for her, and I thought her journey was amazing to read about. It was also just beautifully written. Madeline Miller is a really good author. Man, can she write a sentence, and I hope she will write another novel soon because I'm starved for Madeline Miller content. I still have to read her short story Galatea, but my library doesn't have it, so I'd have to buy a physical copy of it if I want to read it. And they are kind of expensive considering it's like a 30-page story. Maybe if I can get it on thrift books someday, I'll buy it and then I'll finally read it so that I can get some more Madeline Miller in my life. Now, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I hope I will be able to reread soon because someone in my office book club actually nominated this to be one of our book club books. I haven't been very good about participating in my workplace book club. I did not attend the last two meetings just because I didn't feel like reading the books that were picked. But I would love, 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 love to read this again and discuss it with a book club. I hope everyone would love it as much as I do. This is one of my all-time favorite books. This is definitely a book that I think is worth all the hype that it gets. It's so good. I love the main character, Evelyn Hugo. She is so complicated and she felt so real to me that I wanted to go on Google and Google her to see what films she'd been in, and then I had to say to myself, wait, she's not real. She's not a real person. But while I was reading this book, she felt like she was a real person, and I wish I could go watch an Evelyn Hugo movie. There is a Netflix adaptation of this book in the works, so I'll definitely have to reread it before then. It's supposed to be a Netflix movie. I was really hoping for a mini-series. I think that would have just worked perfectly. We could have done 7 episodes and each spouse could have been in 1 episode. Unfortunately, that's not what we're getting, but I'm still cautiously optimistic. I think this will be great to see on the screen, and I definitely want to read this book again before that movie comes out. I should have plenty of time because I don't think any dates have been announced yet. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Point is, I just love this book. I want to read it again so badly and just feel all the feelings. Now, I actually have one more book, and originally I wasn't going to mention this one, but I just thought of it just now. So while I'm still here, might as well mention that at some point I think I need to reread Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. I am trying to read every single book Agatha Christie ever wrote, and I would like to make a video ranking all the books of hers I've read so far. However, to make that video, I will have to reread this one because, to be honest, I remember very little about it. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, so I know that I liked it, but I don't remember any of the plot. I don't even remember who the murderer was. So if I want to be able to accurately rank this book among the others, I'll need to read it again because I don't remember anything that happened, really. Poirot was at a beachside resort and a woman died. That's all that I got. I don't remember anything about this. So those are some books that I would like to reread in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know, do you enjoy rereading books? What are some books that you would like to reread someday soon? I would really like to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an interesting rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.